All right, if you are watching this video, that means that you have successfully built a function called birth year that takes the current year of the current year and subtracts it by the age of the animal, which then in turn gives us the year that the animal was born. If you've done that successfully, and you've also created a name tag function that takes the name of the animal and uses the text function to allow that animal name to be written in large red letters, then we are ready to move on. So we are going to start looking at something called build columns. I'm going to be flipping back and forth between the slides and Pirate as we go along. So building columns. Right now, there might be an option, or there might be an opportunity where we want to actually add a new column to the current table that we're working with. And we can do that by using the build column method. And you can see the actual build column method on page 70 of your contracts page. But in essence, this hashtag here gives you the function of the design recipe, the function of the actual build column method. And so basically it takes in a table. You use the build column method to attach to that table. And then you give the string, which is the new label of that column you want to do. And then you build that column by taking the row and the value. It will give you a table. So let's take a look here. We're going to try this out. So the animals table dot build column. The label is the column that we want to call this new column we're building, and we want to use the name tag function in order to build that. So we're going to take this information and we're going to put it into Pirate. So give it a go. So let's go to Pirate, and we're going to put it in the interaction side. So what we want to do is name the table, animals table dot build column. And then we want to tell it what we want to build. So the label we want to call the column that we're going to build is called labels. And we want to use this new name tag function that we created because we want to print out a list of name tags in bright font. So we want to use the name tag function. So now when we take this and we run it, you're going to see that we're running the animals table, and what we've done is we've appended to the animals table all of the names of the animals in large font. So what I want you to do at this point is I want you to take a screenshot of this new column that you've just created, showing that you've added a new column called labels, and that you actually have added the color red with the big labels. We've added that new function. Okay. All right, so we're going to copy it, and then we're going to add it to the bottom of our Google Doc. I'm going to go to the end here, and then I'm going to, if you're starting this on a new day, then I want you to put the date. So current date, and then I want you to take a picture. So now you're showing me that you've actually created a new column, and this can be very useful tool to do in Pirate and when you're working with data. Okay, so now let's go back to the slides we're working with. So that's how you add or build a new column with data. So now what I want you to try to do is I want you to try to build a new column using the build column method, the exact same thing we just did, but I want that new column to be called born. And I want you to fill it with the birth year of each animal. So what you want to think about here is when we look at Pirate, is which function have we created that we could use to give us a column of data that has the birth year in it. So I'm going to let you work on that. So you may want to pause it until you try and figure it out on your own and see if you can recreate. And again, let's go back to that slide so you can see what the request was. You are going to use the build column method to produce a table That includes a born column, so that's the name of the column, which contains the year each animal was born. So you should have your contracts page open to page 70, and you can also take a look at it here. It's that top piece where it's taking in a table name. You're telling it to build a column. You want to give this string or that new column a label or a name. And then you want to use the builder tool to build the actual column of data. So if you look here, that would be the function that we were working with. So see what you can do. So if most of you have figured out a way to actually make things easier for yourself, if you know, you can just hit the up arrow, because this is the exact same format we're going to use. The only difference is we want to get rid of labels. Call this born. We want to get rid of name tag. And we want to call this birth year. And then we'll run it. And now we can look here. We can look at the top. Oops, too far. And now we have a column that is called born that is filled with the birth years. So at this stage, you are going to take a new picture, a new screenshot of the writing and of the columns, and you are going to put that into your Google Doc.